Welcome to Brown Queen Diaries. I'm your host Priyanka, and today's topic is motherhood and ambition. This topic resonates with all the working moms returning back to work after maternity. We are going to talk about motherhood and career growth with our guest Kalyani, who's here to share her journey and insights into this important topic. Welcome to the show, Kalyani. How are you?
Thank you, Priyanka, for inviting me to this wonderful show, Brown Queen Diaries. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, and I'm super thrilled to have you on the show.
Thank you.
So let's begin from your introduction. So who is Kalyani for our audience?
So as many of you know, I'm Kalyani Valluri. I am a full-time IT professional working at an IT firm in Australia, and also a full-time mom. Also working through my passion with singing and emceeing. Juggling between all of this, multitasking, whatnot, everything. It's good.
So our topic is about motherhood, maternity, and as a working professional yourself, it would have been shift from full-time working person to actually having to take a break for your pregnancy.
Yeah.
All of us can relate to it.
Yeah.
But from your point of view, what was the one thing that struck when you fell pregnant about work? Pregnancy is a big milestone in our lives.
Of course, yeah.
So it's all sorts of excitement and everything, but when you fell pregnant, what was the first thing that struck to you about work?
Yeah, as you said, definitely it's the career gap, the big career gap you're going to take. In Australia, generally, it's you can take a break of 12 months and you can extend it up to 2 years per se. But even though it's 12 months, you feel like it's 2 years almost because when you're going for your maternity leave, right, there are other people whom you need to train to get onto your role, like secondment. It's like you're just giving away your baby. You have worked so hard for all these years. And I'm a pretty ambitious girl as well. So giving away all of that, what I've worked on, it was pretty hard for me. So that was the first thing which came up to my mind. And also, support is always good, but sometimes I feel like it's unwanted. People at work, they are like, you're pregnant, don't worry, we'll take care of this, we'll take care of that. But, I can't let go of things that easily. So I don't want to sound rude, but that was not expected. If I need help, I will definitely ask. The first thing, of course, is the career gap.
It's
and
basically
all of this,
giving away one baby, transitioning to another phase of your life. So it would have been hard.
Yeah, it was definitely difficult, but motherhood and the happiness of getting another family member into your life, that made it a bit easier.
That kind of took over.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. On that topic, right, we have yearly reviews and promotions and everything, right?
Yeah.
So when you're pregnant, did you have any that sort of communication?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Conversations?
Definitely. I was about to get a promotion before I was going on mat leave. And then my higher ups are like, you're anyways going on leave, so let's hold on to that. That was like a hard hitter for me. I'm like, what the hell? I worked for this. You can't just put it away just because I'm going on leave. And whenever you're going on mat leave, right, you have to prove yourself once you're back. Yeah. I felt that because you're put on a secondment role, and then sometimes I feel like people are testing your skills, whether you have changed after coming back from a career gap. So that kind of put us off, right?
Yeah.
So
it's interesting that you're saying that.
Yeah.
Right? It's not uncommon because I see a lot of people going into these yearly conversations about promotion.
Yeah.
You're going to maternity leave, have a peaceful time, come back, we'll give you promotion.
Yeah.
But when you come back, your situation is completely different.
Exactly.
You're probably doing a different role.
Yeah. Who knows, the manager might have changed. There might be a new one who doesn't even know about you. And you again have to prove yourself, whatever you have done for the past 3-4 years before going on mat leave, you again have to, start doing that. It's kind of very hard for...
How did you deal with it?
Yeah, obviously, I had to sink into the flow of it, as you said. And I had to work, like stretch hours to prove myself. Luckily for me, I got the opportunity sooner. It's not the promotion I expected before going on mat leave, but some kind of a promotion is what I got. I just wanted to say this to all the moms out there. Don't stress yourself or don't work too hard. If the opportunity is there, it will definitely come to you. Enjoy the new phase of life. That's how I dealt with it. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Maternity break itself comes with a lot of challenges.
Of course, yeah.
You know, technology is as it is evolving day by day. And you know, people move when you go on long breaks, right? Like 6 months to 1 year, people move from one teams to another teams and things like that. So when you go back to work, it is challenging, right?
Of course, yeah.
What happened with you? Like, how did you find it?
Yeah, of course it is challenging. You know, there is this constant guilt for any new mom sending your child to childcare, and there is this separation anxiety. So it was very tough for me, like leaving my child in childcare. It took almost like 2-3 months to adjust to that routine. And of course at work as well, you know, sometimes you might be in new teams, you might need to work with new people and stuff like that. So you need to constantly build those relationships. Whatever you have done in the past is like done and dusted. You need to start afresh. And also the learning, the constant learning, and also the constant urge to prove yourself, because people might not know your working style. And also, you know, before mat leave or before the child, it's just you and your partner, right? So you have this, even if you work for extra hours, you don't feel anything. You just feel like, okay, I'm working hard. Oh, I did this. It's great, something like that, right? But after mat leave and after the child, somehow I felt like I slowed down a bit. You know, my focus has shifted from, you know, the go-getter style I am to, okay, first prioritize your child, and then when you find some time, you can prove yourself. But, you know, it didn't put me back. I was just thinking that, okay, that's okay. You slow down, but anyways, you're learning new things.
Yeah.
And you're working towards your goal. You might not finish it in like, you know, 1 month, 2 months. It might take 4 months, but still you're doing that.
Yeah.
So that kind of positive mindset took me forward.
I feel like that is the right way to do it as
Exactly.
well. We have to step back, observe, learn, and also balance it up. That makes us a little bit more kind of, you know, a way forward in sort of leadership.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
It gives us a different lens because we automatically start organizing ourselves in a certain way to fit into, you know, in a work environment, in the home, domestic environment. And then obviously you have other things. You know, when you started back to work, right? When we have pregnancy or even periods or anything, right? We have hormonal ups and downs.
Of course, yeah.
Okay. And how did it affect on you? Because I know like it plays a big part.
Of course.
Right? It affects your mood swings.
Yeah.
It affects your whole body, to be honest. Like postpartum's not a joke, right?
Of course, yeah.
So did you face any of that? Did you have enough recovery time before you started working, or like how did it go?
Yeah, there's definitely recovery time. I took the 12-month break.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, and there is definitely postpartum depression. I felt like many moms, even now, even in this generation, they're not recognizing the postpartum depression, whatever they're facing. They just put it aside.
Yeah.
I think there is a stigma attached to it, like, you know, the word depression itself, most people don't use because people might think that like they might have some mental illness or something like that.
Yeah.
But that's not true. If I faced it, and I feel 90 to 95% moms, new moms, they face it. They just don't identify it, I say.
Yeah.
I always used to feel like, you know, I'm working too hard for the baby, you know, like constant feeding and all of that, and making the baby sleep and waking up with the baby and stuff like that. I'm very fortunate that I have a support system with me, like my mom and dad, they came and stayed with me. That kind of really helped. But I'm a very social woman as well. Like, you know, I go out quite a bit, I mingle with my friends, but everything was like full stop.
Yeah.
So that kind of added up to the depression. But then because of the support system I had, right? So my husband and my parents, they used to take care of the baby and used to give me some night out. That really kind of helped. So if any new moms out there, if you're facing any kind of slightest depression as well, feel free to talk to your partner and your support system so that they can help, and take me time. That really helps.
Me time, and having that mental, like what we call, like we have to settle down with our emotions.
Yeah.
There should be some kind of
course.
regime or something like that,
Yeah.
balancing your emotion, things like that. But did it have an effect on your work, like your hormonal ups and downs?
Not quite a bit, because I had the 12-month break. If I would have joined like 3-4 months after the delivery, maybe I would have. But nothing as such, just the separation anxiety I mentioned, sending my child to childcare. Apart from that, I think I'm good.
So what do you think is the right amount of time to go on maternity leave? People go on 3 months. Some people go on 6 months. Some on 12 months. And some more. So what do you think, in your view, is the right amount of time period to go on maternity leave?
It again depends on person to person, right? Like for me, 12 months really helped. But if you have good support system, if your parents stay with you or something like that, you can even join in 3-4 months. It actually depends on the child and the mom, because some babies, they have that separation anxiety as well when moms leave them. As I said, it depends on person to person.
But from my view, I feel like 12-month period would have been like really good. But that would have been excellent. Right?
Exactly.
I would have got that quality time with my son. But that's one of the things that I have. I went a bit early. I think it's never enough for the moms.
I know.
That's probably it.
I know. It's never enough. But I think moms need to decide on their own. Talk to their, don't decide it upfront. Maybe once the baby's there, and you need to see the baby's routine, your routine, how it's syncing, and then take the decision. If you want to go early, one funny thing, when I was going on mat leave, I told my manager, I'll come back in 6 months. Don't worry. I don't want to stay at home. I'll come back in 6 months. And then after I went, my manager called me during that.
Are you still on the same word?
Then I'm like, no, I need more time. He was like, I told you. So that's what happens, right? You expect something, but then something else.
So fear of pause in your career growth, that's one thing that happens to everyone who's going on maternity leave, right? So if given a chance, you have one kid right now, and would you willingly go for the second child? Like if you have to plan your pregnancy again?
It's definitely personal question.
No, not like that. But in general, like, would you actually take that step forward without fearing that you lose your job or your career, that sort of thing?
It's definitely dreadful and stressful as well, going through the same thing again. But I want all the torture. Like the sleepless nights, the career break, and proving, sometimes, proving yourself in the organization, it's like, challenging as well.
You're getting a kick out of it.
I'm getting a kick out of it, definitely. But it was very stressful, even the first pause I took, and maybe, who knows, the second pause I take for the second kid, I don't know. It was definitely challenging, and I was not working in the same stride I used to work previously, as I told as well. But I just thought, never to stop myself. Even if I'm taking just one step towards the goal, I just don't want to stop anytime, and I was taking it at my own stride. So that kind of really helped me. And I don't mind, even for the second kid to take a pause, because, as I said,
you follow the same pattern.
Getting a kick out of a challenging thing is my thing.
Okay, that's good.
Returning
back to work, right? Going on maternity leave is one thing, but returning back to work is another thing, right? Like that itself, I feel like a little bit of a project. You need to organize a few things.
Lots.
Right? What did you do?
Oh, as you said, a lot of planning involved. Like before I went to work, I called up my manager and asked about the situation at work, like which role I'm returning to, and what's the description, like the role description I'll be attending towards at work. Apart from that, at home as well, childcare, like which childcare to send the kid to. It didn't start 2 weeks prior, maybe like 3-4 months prior to returning to work, with childcare and also forming a routine. I used to have like a book where I used to write like, okay, the complete planning, like the day planning. That really kind of helped me. It might not exactly happen in the same timing, but at least if you have a plan, it's easier to work towards it. Instead of, stressing out on the first day of return to work, because it's anyways a new change for you after the break, right? Yeah. So you don't want to make it more stressful, piling up things on it. So of course, planning really helped me, and talking to my higher-ups also helped me in planning everything.
And obviously you'll have your family members support you as well. We're talking about family members and everything. Support system plays a big role.
Of course,
Even when you're transitioning from, one phase, let's call it a phase, right? Maternity phase to another, then back to work phase, right? That's a transition for a woman. So your support system also plays a big role. So who helped you, and how did it actually help you? Did you have your parents over, or?
I had my parents for quite a bit, but when I started to work, it's just me and my husband. So we planned our days accordingly, like my child, she goes like 4 days to the childcare. So in my organization, I had this facility where I can work a compressed week.
Okay.
So I planned that accordingly, and the work from home as well kind of helped. The one thing COVID did, which is good as the work from home thing.
Seriously, that's so good. Like especially for moms, right? It's so good.
Exactly. So that kind of helped. And I think most of the organizations, they are also with this new trend of work from home, especially for new moms. They kind of encourage them to stay back at home, get used to things, and then come back if you want to come. That really worked for me, and that really helped me. And of course, the new leaves and everything coming up, like even now, husband, like the male parent as well, he can take leave, like parental leave and stuff like that, right? If you're feeling too much at home because of all the new things happening with the new phase, that kind of helps as well. I think organizations are adapting to these new changes.
Paternity leave, right? That's really good. So they can equally stay off and equally support, which is really good. Before we wrap up, what advice would you give to the women that are going on maternity leave and planning to come back to work from your end?
Of course, See, maternity is a beautiful phase. I know sometimes it gets stressful, but enjoy the phase while you can, because those beautiful moments, they cannot be repeated, right? They are once in a lifetime. Even though you have 2 kids, 3 kids, every time it will be a different experience. So I say, have that wonderful experience, enjoy every phase while you can, because see, the world can wait. You can achieve whatever you want. Being an ambitious girl, I'm saying this means, with experience of what I had previously, definitely everything can wait. Enjoy the phase, and when you are returning to work, don't stress, don't strain yourself, don't become too over ambitious. Just work with your own stride, learn new things, get support from workplace and also from your partner at home. And just
take a chill pill.
Take a chill pill. Dive through.
That's cool. Thank you. Thanks for sharing your journey. And it was really interesting and also insightful to understand how your maternity journey and your returning back to work sort of went through. And I'm glad it went really well as well. Thanks to you. Thanks for sharing that.
Thanks a lot, Priyanka. No one has done this kind of a interview or a podcast till now. And I think it will help a lot of women. So I'm really happy that you took that step, to introduce this to all other women out there. So it's a beautiful thing you're doing, and I hope this will be a huge success, and I loved being a part of this show.
Thank you. And I really believe that every story needs to be heard.
Of
so
course.
that's the ambition, and I'm hoping that it goes on like this.
Of course, loved it, loved it.
Thank
All the best to you.
Thank
And
you.
all the best to all of us and all the women out there.
And thanks to all the audience for watching us in this episode of Brown Queen Diaries. Remember that you can always have a full-time career and be a full-time mom also. Until next time, stay well and take care.